Look at you. Moving along nicely, aren't we? You're piecing him back together faster than I expected. We're getting closer to the end. And since you've proven yourself so capable, maybe it's time. You should have enough power now to enter his mansion. Here, go to this place and see if the door opens for you. No. If you want to know the truth about the man pulling the strings, it's time you took a look behind the curtain. It's the house of someone I once called my employer, Orin. The same one whose plans got you out of the island asylum. I don't know. We stopped seeing eye to eye on certain things, and our relationship soured. No, not really. There's one last piece of Arthur's soul waiting for you. The third artifact. His crown, this time. You'll find it deep in the Forlorn Swords, in the capital city of Dalriata. Meet with Gerfan. He'll either attack you on sight, or explain everything patiently, depending on how he feels about... Oh, you'll see for yourself. How would I know? I'd say going into Dalriata territory is a surprise all on its own. But don't worry, they've got bigger problems at the moment than you sneaking off with their sacred helmet. Once you're done, meet me at the Charred Conclave. That's where we'll finish this, one way or another.
Greetings, my king. If you're seeing this message, it means Caradoc has fulfilled his task, and the wheel of destiny has begun to turn. I am Orin, your majesty's devoted servant, and the apprentice of your friend Merlin. Nothing would bring me greater joy than meeting you face to face. Alas, that must wait, for our paths have yet to cross, though I hope it will be soon. In the meantime, please treat my home as your own. Make yourself comfortable. Rest from your hardships, and seek the knowledge you require. And you, brave vessel, remember to heed your lord, King Arthur, now and always. I understand that what Merlin and I have done was against the laws of nature. I know how many brave knights gave their lives so we could find a way to bring you back. But their sacrifice was not in vain. With you here, Avalon has a chance to become a true paradise. And now, I believe I've found the way to make it happen.
Hello. It's a beautiful day, don't you think? I don't know any Arthur. It's just me, Hob. I'm not really sure why I'm here. I only sat down because this chair looked very comfortable. But between you and me, it's not. I preferred the sand on the beach. It was much softer. That's possible. I exist. I often find myself in different places, not knowing how I got there. But most of the time, I'm happy. I enjoy this world and the people in it. Well, that's true. But even so, every day we get to live in peace is beautiful in its own way. If I were you, I'd take a moment to appreciate it. That's the big question, isn't it? If I had an answer, I'd tell you. But truth be told, I don't. It feels like the world has its own plans for me. And maybe for you too. One moment I'm by the sea or in a beautiful garden, and the next I'm here, chatting with you underground. Like I'm being nudged along by something bigger. Some curse, maybe. I've always wondered about that. Oh, just a thought. Maybe I crossed the wrong person or path a long time ago. And now I'm here, there, and everywhere in between. But you know what? It doesn't bother me. Every place I land has its own charm. I meet people, share a story or two, and move on. Maybe that's what I'm meant to do. Be a wanderer. Maybe it's not about me. Maybe it's about the people I meet, the places I see. If I'm part of some bigger story, I don't need to know the ending. I just need to enjoy the chapters. And you, my friend, what chapter are you on? Perhaps we're in the same one for a reason. Not much, I'm afraid. But all these books, I'd wager it belonged to some kind of scholar. Someone who spent their life chasing knowledge and ideas. Impressive, isn't it? I might even try to read one before fate decides to whisk me off somewhere else. Knowing my luck, I'll only get halfway through. Farewell. And if fate tosses us together again, I'll have a story or two waiting.
You have no idea how long I've been waiting for you, my king. I've memorized Merlin's plan for your resurrection. Yet I'm certain my master made a mistake somewhere. I just can't pinpoint quite where. The theory of revival itself, the technique for performing the ritual was flawless. After all, you always return to us. But I saw how much suffering each resurrection caused you. I wanted to find a way to bring you back to us as the person you truly wished to be.
Ah, a visitor. It has been a while since we've had one, hasn't it, my dear Gawain? Will I need to carry the bones of my only companion to his resting place today? Or could it be that this is the day when our souls are finally laid to rest? I am Sir Bertilac, Wanderer. I keep watch over the cursed, restless sleep of dearest Sir Gawain. He is dear to me now, but long ago I thought little of him. An honorless, arrogant whelp he seemed to me. But when I struck him down and saw him look up at me in quiet wonder as he drew his last breath, I understood then that we were the same. Both tools in the hands of those with power, afterthoughts in the games they played. The endless, hateful dance of a pair of siblings so alike, they were a mirror of each other. The Lady Morgaine had me believe I was meant to cut short the reckless, unruly ways of her brother's knights, to prove he let them act without honor. She said she only wished to be heard, but as I sat here, forgotten, I came to understand. She wanted Arthur to hurt, as she had been made to hurt. With cunning, with expedience, he was given a choice: die with honor, or live without it. But is a choice truly a choice if its only purpose is deception? Gawain chose life, yet I struck him down, and in the end, he got neither life nor death, only suffering, and me, the only one left to remember. Apologies, Wanderer. For a very long time, the good Sir Gawain has been my only company in this place. As much as he was once known for his sharp wit, time and decay have taken his voice from him. I've grown used to our conversations being one-sided. I hope you'll forgive me if I slip into old habits. Challenge me, Wanderer. End my lonely vigil. And after I fall, take up my axe. Give my dear Gawain one last duel, and one final death. If you are the one the Lady Morgaine truly meant to punish, then at last we may find our rest. Now, will you fight? So be it. May the one who falls find peace.
Poor Sir Gawain, the knight who gave his life for the honor of his king. He didn't deserve to be forgotten. At least now, he has a purpose once more. I've been dreading that question, I won't lie. You've already met them all, I'm afraid. I'm the last remaining member of the guild, and have been for the past 100 years. Well, until now, you can see why I was so excited for you to join. A long life is a gift the wordness grants to many, but to me, it's been even more generous than most. Maybe I'll live only as long as I'm needed, or maybe longer. Whatever the wordness wills, I'll accept it, like I always have. It's a bit more complicated than that. The wordness is our fears, our desires, and the mark we leave on this world. It can be whatever we wish it to be, and we can become whatever it chooses to make of us. We are part of the wordness, and it is part of us. It shapes us, yes, but we can shape it in return. Not as well as the Foredwellers once could, but perhaps all we need is time. I was brought into the guild by Eleanor Dunn, a royal geographer who found the one dearest to her soul among my tribe. She lived among us for many years, but when her beloved became one with the wordness, Eleanor was allowed to prepare her body for the last rites, yet never truly as one of us. My people accepted their bond, but never her, so she left, and I followed her, as a good daughter should, even if not by blood. I met a few more members as I traveled with her, but over time they grew fewer and fewer, until only I was left. But as long as one of us is still alive, so is the guild, and I won't let my second family be forgotten. We all want peace, but it rarely comes easily. The knights swore to protect Avalon, and now they have the chance to fulfill that oath. Sir Gawain will find his peace, as will you, and his majesty, but it will take effort from all of us. A strong king means a strong Avalon, and for that he needs his knights. The wordness is like a web. Without strong threads to hold it together, it tears apart, and chaos follows. Every soul wandering Avalon is one of those threads, but the ones who shaped it, their threads are the strongest. King Arthur and his knights once brought peace to Avalon. Their very presence helps to calm the turmoil, even now. Sir Bertilac, from Gawain's executioner to his protector. There's no need to worry about him. His soul walks Avalon freely now, shining bright. All of Morgaine's darkness has lifted. I'm sure he and Sir Gawain will cross paths again, this time without the shadow of a curse between them. Go and seek the next of the fallen. They need you.
I'd rather not speak of him, but I suppose I owe him that much. Morgaine and I, we shared only half our blood, yet both inherited the worst of our father's traits. Pride, arrogance, stubbornness. I was angry at her for humiliating me yet again, and angry at Gawain for falling so easily into her trap. He was never the perfect knight, nor did he try to be. But he was brave and bold, and he didn't deserve to become a pawn in our quarrel. I should have taken more of an interest in his fate, but there was always something more pressing, until I ran out of time. Although, if you think about it, we did end up sharing similar fates. It is a bold decision, and I am glad he finally made it. It was wise of him to invoke the old laws. Camelot will not dare to break them, and the men here will remain in Kuanacht, at least until the lives of its people are in immediate danger. I am glad you chose to help him. With company like this, his mission may yet succeed. Even if Yvain does not return, his actions will be remembered. Of that, I am certain. He might have been, but I don't recall us ever meeting in person. Merlin had many apprentices, and Nimue was the most gifted among them. But even she never spoke in my presence. It is possible Merlin forbade his students from speaking to me, though why he would do such a thing, I cannot say. But Orin seems devoted to a cause he believes in. It's a refreshing perspective, and unlike any we've seen so far. Honestly, I had hoped his discoveries might help me recover some of my lost memories. Sadly, they did not. I remember what Merlin and I chose to do. I simply thought I could reconstruct the reasoning behind our decision. But it seems even Orin wasn't certain of that. I regret that Merlin didn't share his thoughts and decisions with his apprentices. They might have helped us now, on this journey. I'm not ready to answer that question, and I sense the final decision won't be mine to make. You're more important than you think, and our fates are bound together to the very end. In the end, Orin's opinion may not even matter.
You don't look too pleased. Did the trickster play us for fools? No. I may be old, but not that old. But I was once involved with a man who did. He knew the First Knights personally. He used to tell me stories about them. Some funny, some sad. I think he missed them more than he cared to admit. But not the king. When it came to Arthur, he had nothing but contempt. And sometimes, that contempt bled into everything else. Oh, so you've met him. Oh, of course you have. I should have guessed. You brought back his majesty, and he is the center of Caradoc's very existence. Ugh, he's such a miserable sod. I'm sure he knows I'm around, but I'd kill for him to just come and say hello. He's a bitter man, and that bitterness darkened every bit of joy I tried to share with him. We were brought together by a special kind of loneliness. But while I see my life as an opportunity, he sees his as a curse. And he may not be wrong. Our circumstances are very different. Still, I wish I could have made him happy, even if only for a little while. I couldn't. And it was hurting us both too much to keep trying. Well, you've seen it for yourself. He wasn't your average knight. He was always praised for his cunning and his devotion, both to his fellow knights and to the realm. But he was also a clever man, always thinking ahead. I suppose one lifetime of battles is enough for some. If he wishes to be left in peace, who are we to deny him? You've lit the way for some. Now light it for the rest.
A truly fascinating man. He started out as a court jester, but it quickly became clear he was quite skilled with a blade as well. At first, I suspected he might be a spy for an enemy kingdom, but after he saved my life one day, my perspective changed. Of course, he still could have been a spy, but I decided to keep him close and watch him carefully, just in case. In time, though, he proved to be a loyal companion. He earned my trust, and without hesitation, I knighted him. Well, it didn't surprise me much. That was Dagonet through and through. He always spoke his mind, caring little for what others might think, even when it was my judgment he questioned. Only he and Palamedes ever dared to speak their minds openly in my presence, without fear of giving offense. Dagonet was decidedly less diplomatic than Palamedes, but it was precisely that honesty I valued in them both. Besides, from the start, he had a rare gift for foreseeing how things would unfold. I dare say, he even managed to make me laugh one last time.
We meet again, Lost Prince. I was mistaken about our previous encounter. I erred in thinking I had unraveled what the Pale Lady had planned for the both of us. But I should have known better than to presume or anticipate the moves of someone as shrewd as her. I am tired, Prince. I am so terribly tired. I feel burned out. I can't weave anymore. I don't want to. Never imagined that such a moment could come. Oh, what a truly sorrowful thing. To accept that all things must finally fade. You meeting me? As I mentioned upon your first visit, I thought it was just a coincidence. A fortunate weave of various events that, under a different alignment of stars and smaller choices, would never have come to pass. However, it turns out that I was meant to fulfill a specific role, and it was not to weave new life as I once believed. To weave bridges between you and her despair. Bridges that would allow you to gather the memory shards. She used me, yet I cannot even bring myself to be angry with her. I see now that she seeks to restore the bonds that once were, before her world shattered and fell into ruin. The pain of a mother who has lost her child, it is difficult to comprehend, especially for us. For centuries, we never had to face loss, and then only by gazing upon you humans, we had to deal with the idea of death. To live in a world in which everything has to die, such a horrible and terrifying thing. Her desire was to bring her son back. I understand that, but can't really empathize with it. Understanding others has always been the strength of humankind. And anger? I'm not sure. For now, I just want peace. I don't want the weirdness. I don't want to weave. I don't want to feel. She hopes that by restoring her son's memory, she will finally bring him back. The Pale Lady wants to put you on a proper path. Yet she does not realize how daunting and impossible this challenge truly is. But those driven by despair rarely measure their actions with reason. Places like this one, or the one where we met before, were chosen by the Pale Lady for a reason. On their own, they're nothing more than aberrations twisted by the weirdness. To bridge your reality and ours, Someone had to weave the passages. That someone was me. In both instances, I believed all my efforts were aimed at weaving a new Fordweller, for the first time in centuries. But the truth was far from that. The Archspire was a bridge to the place where her son was born. In that cave, I wove the prints from the threads of the weirdness granted to me by the Pale Lady. They were resonating with great desire. It seems the place we stand in now was marked as the place where I had to create the next passage. Since we lost the war against your kind, we retreated to Tuathan, severing ourselves from the rest of Avalon. All the while, the weirdness has continued to change. It has grown wilder, more untamed, and far harder to control, even for us. For centuries, places like this seemed lifeless, stripped of their potential. And then the spark began to return. It was then that I resumed my work. So it is true. I suspected that gazing upon the homelands by the Pale Lady and her son could not occur without disruptions. The knot grew tight. I did not dare to peer beyond my lost prince. I feel that what lies ahead is bound to a profoundly intimate and ineffably personal aspect of the Pale Lady. It is between you and her. Prince, it is time to go. Leave me behind. I played my role in this spectacle. Hopefully that will grant me freedom. Farewell.
And now you stand here, hidden deep within. And even I cannot fathom what my heart feels. Still torn, for you are not wholly him, my son, my prince of Tuathan. Yet there is a flicker of joy within me, for you carry the soul of an Arthur, whose life was chosen for my son. This means the fragments of memory I gathered and kept safe may be saved. The heart, bleeding and plagued, a fragment of me, of my despair, accidentally brought into existence upon the homelands. My tears seeped into your soil, birthing a terror that became inseparably bound to your kind. The specter, the Red Death. Unintentionally, I could not have foreseen what such an entanglement of our realities would bring. I could not have known the depths of pain wrought by the loss of a beloved child. When it started to spread, I couldn't find a way to stop it. I am so terribly sorry. Arthur believed that abandoning the homelands would stop the plague. The Red Church committed truly horrific acts in their desperate attempt to halt the blight. Yet, no matter what you humans do, the plague will always return. It's like a curse cast upon your kind. And so, you will drown in my tears. I want my son back. You walk your own path, yet you will be faced with choices. I hope that, among them, you will find a way to bring my son back. However, I cannot impose my will upon you. It took me a long time to understand that not everything should be demanded by force. I believe so. And you are already working tirelessly toward this, whether you realize it or not. Since my son's fate became entwined with that of Arthur, the King of Mortals, it is necessary to reconstruct the soul of the ruler whose essence you carry within your heart. You will also need the fragments of my son's memory, the ones I so carefully concealed for you to find. Beyond that, the Weaver may possess something helpful. His life-giving spindle. It may prove invaluable when the final trial comes. If you manage to find him, take it He is no longer bound by the places I created for him, where he could work in peace. I have a feeling he may have returned to his workshop, deep within the Forlorn Swords. It is a tale about the Prince of the Four Dwellers, who unexpectedly became the king of humankind. Arthur. We are connected. In the homelands, he heard my call from beyond the mists. It guided him to Avalon. I met him during his journey. I gifted him with the sword, the specter of which you now carry within yourself. He is someone very dear to me, someone I lost decades ago, whose soul found a new body in your lands. As you already know, we found a way to gaze upon the homelands. My son was fascinated by humans, fascinated by your impermanence and fragility. When one has to deal with entropy and decay, everything suddenly gains far greater significance, doesn't it? He must have desired to live the life of a human. Perhaps it is one of the most powerful manifestations ever achieved by a Four-Dweller. Oh, the Weaver. I remember the spark of joy that lit up his pale face when he saw what emerged from the threads of weirdness I gifted him. A living being, brimming with such boundless potential, so vibrant with life. He always had a fondness for my child. He called him the Prince. In the homelands, I saw a powerful thing that we Four-Dwellers lacked. It was love, one of many emotions I had to learn. We lived in a world where everything was potent and possible. It made us live a life where we were drowning in decadence. I longed for something more. Our emotional structure was much less complicated than yours. You were quite an inspiration. Yes, I am fully aware that my will to bring Arthur to the shores of Avalon brought war and ruin upon my own kin. What would you have me say? There are no proper words for this. I will simply fall silent. Draw your own conclusions. Yes, although that was a horribly distorted part of me, living as if it were another life. Now I feel more whole. The emptiness is sharper. The sorrow far more profound. Ah yes, bound to Arthur through kinship. They were close enough that some of my despair reached her as well. A different kind, however. She was able to find and gaze into it. I pity her. The fate that befell her is truly dreadful. One aspect of the potential of the weirdness is that it can serve as a tool. For that, I needed a craftsman. Someone who could sense even the thinnest threads of that potential as part of a greater whole. Every Four-Dweller could manipulate the weirdness to some degree. But not all did so with the finesse of the Weaver. He could harness that potential for something far, far greater, like weaving a new life, for example. My skills lay elsewhere. Among them was the ability to peer beyond the horizon of our civilization, to see a different world. A world without the weirdness. A world filled with meaning and purpose. Constructed through intricate connections. A single living organism, yet full of individuality at the same time. I feel that sometimes you do not realize just how extraordinary your land truly was. Are you sure? If you have anything to ask, ask now. This may be our last meeting before the end of things. I am listening. Are you sure? If you have anything to ask, ask now. This may be our last meeting before the end of things. So, it is done. I am glad my heart could host you. I hope you will succeed in reaching the goal you pursue. You leave this place with another shard. Use the memory of my son wisely. Ah, one more thing. That perfect obedience will no longer be your burden. It was never my will, but rather a flawed interpretation by humans, consumed with the madness of the dying. Farewell.
You're from outside, aren't you? Silly question. You don't look like anyone from the tribes. Tell me, do you know anything about One Eye? Where he's stationed now? Of course. I'm Olwyn of the Svein tribe, though I don't know if they'll let me keep that name after running away like this. But I don't care. My tribe isn't what it used to be. I doubt anyone's still alive anyway. I don't know if I can talk about it. It's still too raw, you know? Something terrible happened. Truly terrible. Our god, the Lord of the Hunt, he got out of wherever he was being kept. And then he did what gods like him do. He hunted. Faithful or not, it didn't matter. There was so much blood. I'm sorry. I can't talk about it. Even under normal circumstances, that would be risky. Our archers would drop you the moment you stepped on our land. I don't know how many are left, but if I were you, I'd go to Gurfhan first. He can give you a pass, so you can visit the tribes without, well, getting shot. So if you value your life, go to the capital first. After that, wander as much as you like. So, about One Eye. No way. He actually pulled it off. I heard rumors he wanted to strike a deal with the Southerners, but I never thought he'd manage it. Well, thank you for the information, and see you in better times.
I sensed your approach, my king. I, Gurfhan of the Gunvaldir tribe, salute you as my forefathers decreed. Ah, so you're still speaking with your own voice. Good. At least I won't have to bother with that formal drivel Camelot loves so much. Tell me, how does it work with the two of you? Does the king speak through you sometimes? Or is he just a passenger in your head? Will he ever come out and talk to me face to face? Or does he just sit there quietly, never getting involved? Either way, I've got a few things to say to him. Not exactly polite ones. Ah, so he won't be speaking. Still too weak, is he? Not surprising. Well, then give my regards to the old man. Tell him the Gunvaldir tribe stayed loyal to the old treaties right to the end. The same can't be said of the Camelocians. A pack of cowardly dogs without honor. I hope Arthur's squirming in your head, seeing what his beloved capital has been up to. Normal ones. Honorable. He entrusted us with the forlorn swords and his crown, the one he used to command giants. We were sworn to guard them. In return, Camelot was supposed to leave us alone, now and forever. But the Camelocians didn't hold up their end of the deal. May their souls rot in the weirdness. Can you hear me, Arthur? The treaty is rubbish. I'm rallying the tribes, and we're marching on Camelot. Nothing can stop us anymore. Except ourselves, damn it. Why? He's barely gotten his life back, and not even all of it. Does he have a death wish or something? There's a passage, sure. And if you're Arthur, it will open for you. Go ahead, if you think you're strong enough. Nobody's gonna stop you. But let me warn you, it's not going to be an easy journey, or a short one. Well, the giants are asleep, at least on the surface. But below, what if they wake up when they see Arthur? I doubt they'll be happy. And if the giants weren't enough, there are still the monsters and other surprises. The legends about this place make it all pretty clear. If I were you, I wouldn't go in there. At least, not until you're sure you have the strength to handle what's hiding inside, or without the blessing of the tribes, as agreed 600 years ago. You'd know that if you remembered our agreements, Arthur. Yes, the funny thing about our king, as you may already know, was that he was pretty sure of himself and his abilities. He knew he could march in there, grab his crown whenever he wanted, so he didn't sweat when he made a deal with our ancestors. He said he'd come back for his royal hat only if the kingdom was in a dire situation and if all tribes agreed to let him. Traditionally, this was meant to be done during a moot, an assembly of the tribes, and I'm calling one, so we can help each other out, if you're up for it. Well, I need the chieftains to come here because we have to agree on a united front if we're going to fight Camelot. And I want to make damn sure that we fight Camelot not as a solitary tribe, like hot-headed One-Eye once, but as a united force. But I'm worried that something might be keeping them from leaving their villages. I'd like you to look into it. They won't. Our tribes aren't exactly known for getting along, and gathering them all in one place at the same time. That's almost a miracle. But now they've left Gunvelder in its time of need, and they're ashamed. And that's even worse. That's why you have to shame them even more, so that they have no choice but to come here or risk their honor. And if they say they won't come because, then you'll deal with a because, right? After all, you're the king, aren't you? Exactly. There's only one sane course of action, but you do you. I'll be waiting. I'm not going anywhere. As a Gunvelder, I've got nowhere to go anyway. An eye for an eye. There's no other way. Does that surprise you? I was the one who honored the old treaties Camelot violated. I was the one who tried to convince One-Eye not to throw people into guerrilla warfare, but to organize a proper military campaign instead. But for that, I'd need united tribes, and getting us all to work together on our own turf, that's proven to be exceptionally difficult. If you ask me, I got scared. The giant in our village started glowing. Maybe waking up, maybe coming alive. Whatever it is giants do. We were glad, though the other tribes, not so much. They envied us, no doubt about that. And that's probably why they didn't lift a finger to help when Camelot invaded our lands. Us, the Dalrida, we have changed. We're a shadow of our ancestors. But we were not the first to raise our weapons. Well, you see, the giants for us are a bit like gods. We call them our protectors. It's a tradition dating back to the battles of the Age of Legends. The Dalrita befriended the giants long before Arthur ever did. There was peace between us, even when we stood on opposite sides of the war. We honor them because we believe that when they awaken, they will repay our care with their protection. It's good to have allies like them. What can I tell you? We're gone. Only a few of us are left, scattered across all of Avalon. I'm still here, and so is One-Eye. He's convinced he can take Camelot with a handful of hot-headed youngsters. Foolish dreams, suicide, call it what you like. We were brave, proud, and deeply connected to nature. Each of us bonded our soul to an animal, sharing strength between us. I won't tell you more than that. I don't want to. I can't. All of this is still too fresh for me, too raw. King Arthur! His presence clings to you like a shadow, unmistakable to those who still remember him. Your words, your actions, they carry the weight of him. The way you stand, even your damn stubbornness. Arthur always left his mark on those he touched. The Gunvilder haven't forgotten. Betrayed by Camelot or not, our blood still remembers the old king. But don't mistake my recognition for trust. If Arthur truly walks with you, prove it. Show me his legacy still lives and breathes. As of now, 4. The Volker, the Svein, the Ulfra, and the Toyd. Each one with its role, each one with its problems. The Volker were our berserkers, Mather's chosen warriors, unstoppable in battle. But Mather abandoned them, or so they believe. Now their rage is dulled, and they're slipping into despair. If we don't reignite their spirit, we risk losing them entirely. The Svein are hunters and guardians of something ancient, what they call a god. Forest devilry, if you ask me. Dangerous enough for us to keep our distance. The Ulfra are warriors, the best of us, or they were. They've gone silent. No word from their chieftain, no sign of life near the haunted keep. I fear what might have befallen him. Mages, clever but strange. Their power is real, but their methods, unsettling. They see the world differently. Useful in a fight, but don't expect to understand them. Still, strength is strength, even if it's wrapped in riddles and sparkles. Each tribe carries a part of our legacy. If we are to stand together again, we'll need them all, even the ones who've lost their way. Yes? Who have you managed to convince?
Let me guess. Vidar sent you. I was wondering when he'd finally get around to me. Always thorough, that one. I just hope you realize you're not fighting for Avalon. You're fighting for Vidar's version of it. And so are you, apparently. If being dangerous is all it takes to be hunted, you'd better hope nobody turns their sights on you next. I know what you've done, and I hope you understand the consequences you're bringing upon all of Avalon. But tell me something, how many of us have you killed already? How many names has Vidar whispered in your ear, sending you off like a well-trained hound? You're hunting the children of Morrigan, sure. But what happens when there are no more crows left? Think about it. Will Vidar finally rest? Or will he find another enemy for you to cut through? You're smart, you'll figure it out if you live long enough. But I doubt Vidar will give you the time. Oh, he's more than meets the eye. You see a hunter, a man waging a war, but wars aren't fought without reason. You've killed crows, sure, but have you ever wondered how he always knows where to find them? How deep his knowledge runs? You think he was never one of them? Think about it. If he wasn't, how does he know which threads to pull, which ones to leave untouched? Of course not. You've been killing my brothers, but we've never served under just one hand. Self led one wing of the children, Vidar led another. 2 crows, 2 visions, both playing their own game. You think Vidar was just some stray, hunting us out of vengeance? No. He had his own band, his own fledglings, his own agenda. And now he's making sure his side is the only one left standing. You're not just hunting the children of Morrigan. You're erasing his rivals. Now you know everything. So, what will it be? Do we fight, or do we pretend we never met? Then I suppose this is how it ends. Just another name, another kill. Let's see if Vidar trained you well enough.
Look, Grail, the alchemist's little lady sent her lapdog.
Aye.
So, dog, speak. Got the gold? And we've got no answers for you.
Don't drag this out, outsider. For your own sake.
Raylan, check it.
No much.
Not much. You heard him. We lost 3 of our brothers on this job. You think we could just go back to the village and say they died so we can walk away with a handful of coins?
Double it.
Raylan, seems the alchemist's lapdog can snarl.
You've got guts, stranger. Take this filth and be gone. Let's hope we never meet again.
You did it! Wonderful! I don't think I need to hear the details of that meeting. What matters is that it's all behind us now. I'm deeply grateful. Here's a reward for your efforts. I'll soon begin my more extensive research on the brain centers of all 4 subjects. Oh, and one more thing. You've proven yourself trustworthy, so you'll find a few special items in my shop now. Perhaps something will catch your interest? You've already done so much. Thank you for that. That said, there's one more thing you could help me with. The Guild has been trying to get in touch with Dolph Jonquier for a while now. He went missing somewhere in the Forlorn Swords. All I know is that he was supposed to be conducting research in the territory of the Sven tribe. We need to make sure he's safe and sound. He's one of the senior members of the Guild, although I didn't see him much. He spent most of his time working in the field. What's concerning is that he went to the Forlorn Swords alone. He's not familiar with the Dalraita tribes, and the situation in that region is unstable. We just hope nothing bad has happened to him. I appreciate it. Once you find him, ask him to provide a report on his research and bring it back to me. I'll pass it along to the right people. Don't worry, there's nothing suspicious about this. It's standard practice. Every member of the Alchemist Guild is required to submit these reports from time to time. Hope you'll find something useful for yourself.
Not another step. You. Who are you? And why do you think you belong here? Not here, you don't. Ulfraland ain't for outsiders. Not unless the voice of the tribe says otherwise. Trust me, I wouldn't let you in if you were King Arthur himself. Especially not him. He'd have a sword up his ass before he took a step past this gate. Seal looks real enough. Fine. Go on in. But don't cause trouble. We don't take kindly to outsiders sticking their noses where they shouldn't.
Hey, you. Gefon sent you, didn't he? To summon us for the moot. Just because we live up in the mountains doesn't mean we don't know what's happening in the wider world. Well, that works out perfectly. My father's been looking for someone for outside the tribes to help him with something. That's all I know. He didn't tell me much, but he sounded really serious. He told me to bring the first person I came across. His name is Strana. Please, go meet him at his forge. You can't miss it.
Well, I'll be. I'd offer you my hand, stranger. But with the stone sleep taking me away, I reckon that's not the best idea. Still, I'm glad to see a new face before I leave this world behind. Especially someone with such a rare way about them. My name is Noleg. You're the last living soul outside my kin to hear that name. Well, I am a stone warden, and by our custom, a day comes when a stone warden begins to slip into the stone sleep. We give ourselves to the ore,
Stone our forebears carved through for ages, raising halls and strongholds from its heart. We become yet another monument to the forlorn swords. It depends on who you ask. Me, I feel no pain, just peace. I knew what I was signing up for. Every Stone Warden does. But not all see it the same way. My family passed long ago, so I leave no one behind. But Olaf, he still has his daughter, Fuska. And she's been arguing with Darvan for weeks now, fighting over what should become of her father. It's a deeply personal thing, different for everyone. I've known Stone Wardens who felt the first signs of the stone sleep at dawn, and by the next dusk, they were already searching for the place they'd turned to stone. And I've known others where it took years. There's no rule to it. I don't count the days anymore, but I can feel it's nearly time for me to choose a place for myself. When the time draws near, one makes the journey to a place where they wish to fall asleep. And finally, when their body can no longer move or feed itself, their kin tend to them, feeding them, offering water, leaving gifts, and keeping vigil as the sleep takes hold. One of the finest Stone Wardens I've known had a habit of diving headfirst into any hole he spotted underground. Nothing could stop him. Fuska doesn't agree with our tradition. Understandable. She doesn't want to lose her father. But the poor girl doesn't understand that being called to the stone is the highest honor for a Stone Warden. Darvan is the leader of the Stone Wardens, and right now, maybe the most important man in the tribe, since Tryggva's no good for anything anymore. You tell me. I don't know what it is exactly, but there's something different about you. They say the stone sleep makes folk more attuned to the rare and unusual things in this world. Seems you carry one of those in you. Let's not talk nonsense, all right? Oh, no. I'm just fine with how things are. Farewell, traveller. It was good to see a new face in the Ulfr village. Who knows? Maybe I'll still be around to see your coming bear some fruit.
You're in the Hall of Remembrance, in the seat of the Stone Wardens. My name's Ast. I look after this place. Try not to make noise, or touch anything. Yes, it's a hole where symbols of remembrance for our ancestors are kept. Oh, all sorts. Best if you take a look yourself. You're here, so I probably can't tell you more than you already know. They're not statues. They're Dilrida, who've entered the stone sleep. The name says it all, really. It's the sleep Dilrida fall into at the end of their lives, when they turn to stone. Very likely. I spend a lot of time near the weird stone. That and weird steel, yes, but it takes time. Yes. And they turned into stone, yes. They were, as well as master craftsmen. Old Eirg, who was the first to describe the properties of weird steel. Various Dilrida who earned honor in the Stone Wardens. I don't know if their names will mean anything to you. All right. That sculpture is Glimhildur Ironfinger. Ring any bells? She led the Stone Wardens 2 centuries ago. She looked just like that sculpture. Not much to say. Her rule was long and mostly peaceful. I keep things in order, and I guard this place and the memory of the Stone Warden's history. Yes, though in the Stone Wardens, tribal ties don't matter much. Goodbye.
I wouldn't come any closer if I were you. Because I said so. And here in the official hall of the Stone Wardens, my word is law. Leave in peace. I'm not granting an audience. Ah, your powers of observation are truly impressive. Until next time.
A stranger among the Ulfr. I don't yet know how to read this omen, but I'll be keeping an eye on you, outsider. Though I'm not sure anything worse than Thrygve could befall us. My name is Erland. I am the seer of the Ulfr tribe, although it seems few among us have any need for a seer. Folk would sooner put their faith in steel than in me. I don't know if I should speak about our fall with a stranger, but for some reason you were allowed among us. So you'll have your answer. Thrygve has taken hold of the power of the giants, something no human should ever wield. To surrender oneself to such forces is inhuman. It's a spit in the face of Maether. Man was not meant to meddle with what lies beyond his fate. Because that's what it is. Not a trial, not a misstep, a fall. When a man trades his soul for strength not meant for him, he drags more than just himself into the abyss. I had a vision of what would await our tribe if nothing changes. We'd all end up as twisted wretches. The first omen has already come. The red eye. I saw it. It was watching me. Just beyond our village. Have you ever heard of the Beholders, outsider? They were beings that dwelt deep in the dark beneath the earth. The Four-Dwellers made them a promise to lead them out of that darkness. They promised the Beholders they would see the light. So the creatures followed that false light. They trusted the Four-Dwellers, and were twisted by the weirdness. They put their faith into something beyond their grasp. I believe Thrygve, reaching for the power of the giants, is doing the same, placing his trust in the wrong promise. I saw the red eye of a beholder. If nobody stops them, those abominations will crawl out again and twist us, just as they were once twisted. Because they wouldn't listen. Or they'd say I'm weak, that I've let fear cloud my judgment. Among the Ulfr, doubt is a heavier burden than truth. Is that so? Then perhaps your arrival can bring more than ill tidings. I saw the red eye on the slopes, just beyond the village, while I was foraging in the snow for roots to use in my rites. I think that's where you should begin your search. After they were infected with the weirdness, the Four Dwellers turned them into weapons. I once read some old Del Rida records, accounts of our ancestors being slaughtered by those foul things during the wars with the Four Dwellers. A terrible fate awaits those who've had any dealings with the giants or the Four Dwellers. The Gunvalder believed that their giants started to awaken and were slaughtered by Camelot. The Thoids gave their faith to a giantess, and they stained themselves with vile magic, turning their backs on the old faith in Maether. Yes, it's time for you to go.
Nah, you're the outsider Vigdis's kid ran into. News like that travels fast around here. We don't talk to many outsiders these days. Well, even back in the day, we usually didn't talk to them all that much. More fighting rather than talking. But if you're here, that means it's for some reason. And that's good enough for me. What do you need? I'm Hrafn, son of Tove and Isid. Like my father, I care about the armor of my tribe folk. I share the forge with Stronner. He makes weapons, I make sure the ones holding them stay alive. If you need something special, you'll find it here. Nothing will protect your hide better than Ulfr's coats. And who would we be talking to exactly? There were only two neighboring tribes. The Gunvalders were slain to the last by Camelot. Not that it matters. They were a strange folk, dwelling in their haunted stronghold. And that leaves only one neighbor, the damn Theuds. They meddle in cursed magic, so no talking about them. What about them? The Volkers and the Sveins are on the far side of the Forlorn Swords. None of ours go that way. The Dalrida went their separate ways long ago. All that's left is some shared past. And trust me, nobody feels like talking about that. You've got that right. As I said before, no talking about those scoundrels. There's strife among the Ulfr. More and more are openly voicing their disagreement with Thrygva's rule. I find it hard to understand. The chieftain's word has always guided us, and Thrygva will remain chieftain until someone proves strong enough to defeat him in a duel. So, the strongest leads. The one blessed by the will of the giants. The one chosen by the Lone Pillar. There's no greater honor. Fear drives them. I believe that, like steel, a person is forged in fire. If we fail the trials ahead, it means we were unworthy of survival. As our chieftain's case has shown, tradition shouldn't strife us. There are times when it must be seen from a new perspective. Not just anyone can issue a challenge for a duel. First, they must be blessed by another member of the Ulfr. It's proof that they have the support of at least one among us. The rest is a matter of strength. Even our ancestors watch over these duels. It's a sacred tradition. The giants lived in the Forlorn Swords once, but they were betrayed by King Arthur, the Oathbreaker. For centuries, they slept until the Ulfr turned to them. For centuries they slept until the Ulfr turned to them after Thrygva uncovered the secret of the Pillar. He connected with those who once roamed the Forlorn Swords. He is closer to them than any other human has ever been. This land, and the will of the giants, speak through him. That's why he wields such immense power. Since you asked, I might have a small task for you. I need a few Brimshade hides. There's a project that's been on my mind for a while now, but I've been too busy to go wandering off to hunt them myself. If it works, I'll tell you. Right now, it's just theory. I'd rather not jinx it. But if it does work, let's just say that traveling through the Forlorn Swords at night might become a lot safer. Glad to hear it. I've been someone's apprentice most of my life, so I'm not exactly used to asking others for help. I'll be waiting for you here, and so will a little something for your trouble. May strength never leave you.
Egil sent you, did he? I'm Stroner, a blacksmith. What brings you to our village? That kind of order should go straight to Thrygvi, though I doubt he'd be eager to leave his throne. Until a new chieftain is chosen, Thrygvi won't attend the moot. Thrygvi always dreamed of surpassing mortal strength, of becoming as mighty as the giants. He became obsessed with the lone pillar near our village. The Ulfr might not be known for their writing, but we have our legends. Thrygvi found out the pillar was a place where giants entrusted their souls to the Fore-dwellers, whatever that means. So we had a throne forged into the pillar and sat on it during a weird night. What happened after that changed everything for our tribe. I wouldn't call it madness. Thrygvi stopped being human. He grew to a monstrous size and gained unimaginable strength. He became something other. After that, human concerns no longer mattered to him. Yet he's still Ulfr, bound by our customs and rules. It might not mean much to an outsider, but trust me, it's a very dangerous situation. We tried. The moment we declared a new chieftain, Thrygvi appeared out of nowhere and killed the contender with a single blow. Then, like nothing had happened, he returned to his slumber. After that, the Ulfr began worshipping him like a god. Hard to believe, considering our disdain for magic and religion, isn't it? Yet, here we are. Don't be surprised if you hear them singing his praises or fawn. They're terrified of his power, although none of them will admit it. The Ulfr are a proud people, always the first to charge into battle. For us, an honourable fight is the greatest glory and duty. We are also renowned for our blacksmiths, the finest in the forlorn swords. Our weapons and armour are unmatched all across Avalon. But now we've lost our way. When Gunvaldr called for aid, and Thrygvi forbade us from going, most of us stayed behind. It's the greatest shame of our tribe, and I know many feel the same. I don't know for sure. Thrygvi doesn't speak much these days, not in his current state, but I have a theory it probably had something to do with the awakening giant of the Gunvaldr tribe. Many tribes envied them for it, and Thrygvi has a special connection to the giants. Maybe that played a role in his decision. Yes, definitely. The Ulfr might be stubborn, but we've always valued unity among the Dalrita. Without Thrygvi's influence, there'd be no question, but his shadow looms large. It's hard to see a way forward while he's on that throne. Ah, so you've met some of my brothers already. You wouldn't ask that if you hadn't. Since you know about the Stone Wardens, I'll tell you the truth. Yes, I'm a member, and the Ulfr village is our unofficial capital. Darvan himself resides here, Gerfhan's own brother, and our leader. The only way to remove an Ulfr chieftain is through an honourable duel, but there's no honour in fighting something like him. Perhaps my mentor Darvan knows how to defeat him. He won't tell me. He says he's afraid I'd try to face Thrigvi myself, and honestly, he's probably right. If I knew how to bring him down, I'd do it in a heartbeat. But Darvan thinks if our plans were discovered, I wouldn't live to see another day. He's probably right about that too. My brothers have grown unpredictable. Smart choice. He lives in the second largest house in the village. You'll find it easily enough. I'll be here if you need anything else.